Mike Fairleck here to entertain you with the help of Marty Simon and an edited version made up by me. Yo-hey-ho, hum-ba-re, yo-hey-ra, jarum-rudenji, for our homes, for our dreams, for all souls and all living things. And the choice also is clear. Live as slaves or fight and die to be free. I decided to give wardrobe a break for this installment and do a little video on Lexx 4.03 episode called P4X, which is basically an internet site. Being projected across the internet all over the wonderful universe that is the show Lexx. As a quick recap from the last time I talked a little bit about the third episode, I thought the husband, who was the warden and security guard at the prisoner, was kind of a more ethnic Bob Hopkins. I liked the kid. He was not a victim, so I really liked the kid. But more on that later. So this episode opens basically with Prince experimenting to get the key to the Lexx. It's got Stanley strung up on a thing and a kid who happened to see the Lexx through his telescope. Stranded up on a thing, and the idea is if he does away with Stan, will the key go to him or will it go to the kid? If he goes to the kid, then you got to debate whether or not he wants to just off the kid too and take the key to the Lexx. But the kid is not a victim. I rooted for the kid even after he started killing people because I too sometimes just want to get off this planet. There's a chance to go someplace better. Yeah, it is an intriguing, freeing, hopeful opportunity. Zev is in a woman's prison because they think she killed those trailer park guys in episode 2. And, of course, if there's a woman's prison, you got to have a women's prison shower scene. I thought it was very interesting the way they make it seem like you're seeing the actress who plays Zev naked, but you're not. With some very strategic camera cuts. So in this woman's prison, apparently ran by one woman and her husband, security guard, and their daughter, who is, unbeknownst to them at this point in the story, is doing an internet project involving weird sexuality as a means to escape her oppressive parents, or what she regards as oppressive. Basically, she takes Jehovah's Witness or missionaries hostage, one of many, and forces them to have physical intimacy with Zev. So, apparently, for a vast audience. And apparently the parents really don't mind their child. I mean, being that they're, one's a warden and the other one's a guard at the prison. They assume that their daughter just sleeps all day and does nothing all night. Keep in mind, the daughter in question is underage. Yeah, but that's what the parents are convinced she's just a lazy little girl who doesn't sleeps all day and does nothing all night. But in fact, she is running a very lucrative internet business and generating income to a worldwide audience all over the frickin' planet. Because apparently there are many humans that enjoy seeing other humans forced to engage in physical acts. A common factor that comes up here and there in the series is the same actress who plays the daughter is the same one who played the daughter in an episode from season 2. involving zombies, a balding dad, and who obsesses over his hair care products. I thought the wife and mother, who was anything and everything but supportive. I thought it was funny with the father obsessed with the hair care products because of my own father, my own male feminist father's obsession over his own personal appearance when we were kids. God, he spent hours in the bathroom. And that was one of the things he'd beat us over too when we were kids. If we mentioned in public that he was in the bathroom all the time, making himself look pretty for the world. And when I mention these things about my own personal upbringing and everything, my father's own life disappointments and him taking out his frustrations on me and my sisters, I don't say this because I want sympathy. If you watch my videos for just because you have sympathy for me, I'll thank you to don't watch my videos. Moving on. So the kid in the story and the girl, both of those characters in episode 3 are in separate segments of the storytelling, but they have very different excerpts in the storytelling. The kid is basically just there as a means to showcase how evil Prince is, but I will say there is one thing that the kid and the girl, the daughter, have in common. Even though they play very different roles in the show or in the story, and that thing is the universal and common the desire to escape a mundane existence and be free to choose their own path. Also in this episode, Kai tells 790 to help the science nerds give them the information they need so they can build the thing they need to build so they can get off planet Earth. And although the 790 tells the leader, you can't do it, but you said to Kai it was easy. Of course it's easy, but you can't do it because this is a Type 13 planet, still in its development, at its peak and development stage, and you simply don't possess the technology to build such a spaceship. However, you do have the rough materials to build a large machine, capable of building 3 small machines, capable of building 1 small machine, capable of building the vessel you need. So it's all the science nerds. Yay, we're getting off planet Earth! So Zev isn't exactly in torment and misery, having this missionary strapped to a gurney and lowering himself onto her. But the missionary apparently is, and he's, I wanted to save myself for this girl in the choir or whatever. And, I know she don't see me now, but I pray every day she'll be my bride, and I can give her a lifetime of joy. A Life of Joy, the book that he was trying to pass along. So apparently these parents, although they're not willing to verbalize it, have their own kinks. Because they're watching, along with all these other people, their daughter's little science project, little internet project. So they're like, oh my God, we got to skip town. They'll kick us out of the prison business. This show is something else. Anyways, this installment of the series ends with Kai and Zev going to Washington, D.C. to find Stan because they know that Stan's there being held captive by Prince because the kid died trying to escape in the Lexx. The key went back to Stan, overriding Prince, and ultimately it was the kid's sin of pride is what was his real undoing. There isn't a whole lot of backstory into the kid's upbringing or anything, but the missionary in the aftermath of all this hands Zev the book, A Life of Joy, Here, it's a life of joy. She takes the books, holding it upside down. She doesn't know what a book is. She didn't know what a gun was in the first episode of 4.01, the first episode of season 4. She didn't know what a gun was. She doesn't know what a book is, so she's holding the book. She's upside down. Like, she turns to Kai. What is it? And Kai's like, it is called a book. Books have useful information sometimes, and interesting stories often less. Or less often. But the episode kind of ends with 790 overriding primitive Earth technology to torment Stanley. The prince has got him strapped to the wall, and except for the platform where his feet are placed upon, he keeps opening and closing the support things. And I'll just reinsert that joke I told at the end of the other one I was talking about, with the warden and the prison guard skipping town now. He goes, he got he's driving on the outskirts of, I guess, Texas, just trying to evade authorities because of something their kid did. Then the wife insists that he pull over because she saw something. So he does. She gets out to investigate. He's waiting a little bit. He's what's taking her so long? He's sitting there waiting for the wife, just trying to figure out a way to scheme his way into becoming governor of Waco. So he goes and checks, see what the hell the wife's doing, and she's gone. All of a sudden, he's standing there, and some sort of extraterrestrial thing jumps right up his arse. Oh, he's dead, and the girl in the car is all happy because mom and dad are gone. So I guess her reaction is, I'm free, I'm free. So she gets in the driver's seat of the car, and yeah, I guess she is free until she runs out of gas anyways. And that's essentially how episode 3 ends. But I did want to talk a little bit about the Kai character. This has got to be a very interesting role for an actor to play. Michael McManus, believe he's a Canadian actor. It's got to be a pretty challenging role to play. I mean, this character has to display no emotions to sway anybody one way or the other. Especially the book scene where he's saying those lines I said. It's like there's no emotion to sway you one way or the other. But except for the only exception of that in the series would be like maybe a dream sequence, and also too the actor's human, so the state of being 100% emotionless has got to be hard. I mean, all the writers are humans. Everybody involved with the making of the show is human. But so as this actor portrays this role, probably a good example in this episode, episode 3, is when he gets a newspaper out of a thing and asks a passerby kid, read this for me. Just read a little bit. He just needs the kid to read a little bit of the paper, and therefore, after that, he'll be able to read the rest himself for some technical reason that we don't understand. But anyways, this is a good example because the kid reacts after he says, that's all. Now I can read the rest myself. The kid looks at him, you're weird. And he's like, yeah, the dead are weird. And as an actor, you can tell there's a hint of emotion in his speaking, but to portray 100% emotionless is got to be very difficult from an acting perspective. But a good example of this in the pilot movie, I Worship His Shadow, would be when Kai's reaction to Stan's reaction to the fact that they are newly occupants of the Dark Zone. And you could hear the frustration and a little bit of anger at being all, oh my God, we're in the dark zone. He says something to the effect of, my people are from the dark zone. Although there are not many good planets, there are some. I suggest you find one. And although the actor does a good job of displaying those lines to the best of his ability without emotion, he's human. Like I said, all the people involved in this show are human. So that would be pretty difficult in any event. But I'll just end this video with something I saw, some popular inquiry I came across on social media. Which Chinese product can you do without? Me, I'll answer first. Joe Biden. That's Joe Biden. That's the one Chinese product I know I can do without. Yeah, the Joey administration is trying to rewrite history to hide their Afghanistan failure. That's enough of that. Mike Paralak, thank you for your time.